Hello friends, I'm in my workshop. I'm in a happy place. Okay, so let me start this up here. See this? This is your second angle. What I like about doing a second angle during these is you guys can listen real time. You can listen real time to our time together, and then you can go on YouTube. And I think my battery might be low on my second angle. Let me see. It's not too good. I'm gonna pull, you know what guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pull, and you can see here my first angle is going in this thing here. And so I'm gonna stick you guys into the command center. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my second angle and I'm gonna do surgery on it while we talk. Oh, and I have this, it's just a tenaciously, this thing wants to either be too low or too high on its angle. So I'm gonna deal with that real quick. All right, so this is where I'm going to be. Tonight we're putting graphics on some boards while I operate on my second angle situation here. I'm gonna grab a battery and switch out the battery in this. This is a Yi Light Action camera, and I'm gonna turn it off. Boom. Oh, I gotta page through it to turn it off because I put a setting on. All right, I'm gonna grab a battery for this. I'm right here. So I feel pretty darn shy about my graphic process. I have been pretty grateful for being able to make skateboards. I did not expect to succeed in skateboard making. So now it's calculating. It should have full battery on this battery. Let's see. This one is also a wee bit low. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the special durable case and just put the Yeelight directly on here. Oh my goodness, I'm touching a touch screen. Oh my dear friends, can you see? You see what it's like? You know when you just try and do something and you got your head in 6 different places. I hope you all can enjoy this experience we're having together. To me, mildly challenging, really. And then let me turn it on, and it's taking a photo. So I'm going to switch it to, all right, I'm gonna switch it to camera. Boom. Okay, and now I've turned it on and it's going. So now the YouTube version will be running down here, and hopefully it'll catch. Let me check the field of vision on it. I'm just gonna come in real close here and check the field of view. It looks okay. Let me try putting it up here and bend it down a little bit. I like this pretty well. I got no complaints. I got no hashtag no ragrats. Facebook friends, you're a little far away. I'm gonna tilt you a little bit more. I think maybe you're gonna enjoy seeing what I'm doing on the bench more than you're gonna enjoy just seeing the top of my body. Thank you all my friends for patiently hanging with me on these live feeds and for watching them later on. And then I'll kick the stand up a little bit here, and I'm in tripod heaven in terms of that. I'm really grateful to LBI Skates, Little Bit Insane Skates, sent me this wonderful, super useful tripod. Very, very grateful for this. And Howard in Texas sent me my first. There we are. Now you can see what I'm doing, and you can also enjoy a view of our team graphic here. And and let me pack up some of my truck to get it out of the way. Just gonna put a few graphics on a few boards right now, and hopefully you guys will enjoy watching a guy who doesn't know a thing about screen printing, who had to screen print boards. And I hope this is empowering. I'll share this to the makers movement, and I'll share this to Fickle Boards as well. And one reason I so rarely post me doing graphics, beyond, you can tell that I am naturally somewhat, I'm pretty humble about, like, all my graphics are drawn in-house by my partner in crime, David True. David is a super fine artist, and he is been my friend for 15 years. And I'm gonna check my work list and make sure I get the right one. This is for order number 219. Okay. This is such an important part of the whole thing. 219. 219 is in the other room. It's not 219. Hang on here. Just hang with me a second here. All right, we're going to start with order number 223. Yeah, we'll start with number 223 here. Order 223 and order 223. These two are order number 223, and I'll just play it from there. And 223 is the Bulldog graphic. So I'm now printing 223 and put a dot by it. Guys, do you see this process? This is a man who is, I'm not to be admired. All right, so 223 is the Bulldog graphic, and this is not the Bulldog graphic. This is the Sphinx cat. Here's the Bulldog. My man Rocco, he's going to be 10 years old this year. How do you know, I've been watching all my Facebook friends. See, a lot of us have got older dogs, and they've been our buddies. And you just, having a dog to be your buddy is a really big deal. Rocco has been part of keeping me together through some really hard times. All of our dogs and cats are so precious to us. God bless you if you've lost an animal anytime recently. So you can see it's not a super high-tech process. I've got some marks on here that center me up relatively well, and every one of these is hand drawn by my good dear friend David, who is a partner with me in the business. I refuse to under-support the people who work with me, and therefore I won't work with people who I can't support. And that means that I turn down a lot of gifted artists during a year who want to get their stuff out there, because if I can't take care of you for what you're doing for me, my heart just can't do it. As much as I want to share the joy of skateboard making with as many people as possible, my heart cannot afford your talents. Here's another one, and these are both on Panheads, going out to Colin Weir. He's now I've got dragons. This one's not a dragon. So every time I switch the graphic, there's a whole process of cleaning. Last thing I want is to leave paint inside one of these screens. In 10 years doing this, because I work really deliberately, and I don't do this multitasking when I'm doing graphics, I really don't lose a lot of boards. I don't have to sand off a lot of boards because I get real zen. Dear ones, this is the stuff that is destroyed by business harassment. This is the stuff that is destroyed by death threats. the ability to focus on what you're doing and where you are is what is the first thing to take the hits when somebody promises to come to your home and kill you if your work continues to be an embarrassment to the larger industry. And that's what I've been dealing with over the last, going on 5 years, is the knowledge, that lurking knowledge that there are people in my own city who want me to be hurt physically because I do what I do and I say what I say. For every one of you guys out there who likes what I write on my social media, which I see as I have almost a journalistic mandate involved in my social media life. I think the opportunity to publish thought to one another comes with a responsibility to think well and deeply and be considered and considerate. And my voice on social media has been responded to locally with really extreme threats of violence, accompanied by lots of public behavior that are completely convincing that, yeah, I'm not safe in Cincinnati until, I don't know when. I don't know what it'll take, but I'm here, and I'm not quitting, and I'm not shutting up about some of these very important things that we really ought to discuss, ranging from bad ethics in the business of skateboarding to sexual harassment and worse in the highest levels of American Olympic skateboarding and X Games and things like that. We've got a lot of work to do as a community. And our journalistic efforts really need to be stepped up. The best we've got is the likes of the Ride Channel and Jenkem when it comes to breaking a story and actually causing thought and consideration to issues that are emerging. That's just got to change. We really need skate media to step up. And what it means to be a skateboarder in this time and in this generation of pop-up. Now, back to my list. Now, my next one here is number, this one is a special graphic. Let's see, this one here, number 218. This one is number 218, order number 218, and this one is heading out to a new friend of mine. I've really enjoyed this person's honesty and transparency. Their posts are always really, really heartfelt. They're a person of faith. I think a lot of you probably know that I'm a person of faith, and really enjoyed having some real heart-to-hearts through the online interface of social media with this guy. Boy, I like him a lot. Order number here, 218, and here is the first of the dragon graphic layers. Printing on a curved surface, guys. Wow. First thing I had to learn about printing on curved surfaces is that I am not capable of doing it. I'm not capable of doing it well. So I had to figure out how to do it poorly and produce something that I could feel satisfied was a service to my customers and my community. That was the game when it came to printing on decks. And I had to do something that was within my capabilities. So I have this rudimentary lo-fi process that's actually quite quick. So this is going to cure and then clean. I'm going to use this one here to clean my squeegee. Oh, I shouldn't clean my squeegee yet because I've got a couple of blips to put back in the bottle. And this is my super high-tech thing. I don't know what it is. I had it. It fits perfectly here, and it keeps my screen right where I want it for cleanup. And so that's what I use. And then instead of squeegeeing, I just take my bottle, Sometimes the bottle is too full to do this, and when you tip it, it just pours everything out. But, oh, that was a big gloop. All right, I got that. Then I'll grab my squeegee. And this usually doesn't really harvest a lot. It just sends it back into the mesh. All right. Now, this is drying, so I'm going to hit it. I want to protect that mesh from this glue. Oh, I'm bleeding. There's a drop of blood on there. I got cut yesterday. I was working a different job and I got cut. I started to work some nights of the week, going out and fixing things in Starbucks and other restaurants and places where they have work orders. And that's how I'm paying for my trip down to Tampa. And by paying for my trip down to Tampa, I mean that's how I'm kind of halfway paying for my trip down to Tampa. I have enough to get down there and enough to get back, as long as I don't eat anything like out at a restaurant while I'm down there. And I guess there's a degree to which I wouldn't have it any other way. So now I'm going to return here and just start moving this paint around and getting it to start cleaning up. And so it's real wet. Move it around and thin it out. Take another one, some more of this. And you guys will be able to go and see this on YouTube in wide angle format. I don't know if you'll like it better than this format, but this work will be available on YouTube. And I am not the kind of guy that when somebody like criticizes me that I respond like F you. You know, I'm a very F nobody, everybody belongs, everybody matters kind of guy. When I get criticized, I tend to be introspective first. It's really important to me that if somebody criticizes me, that I get the most out of it that I can. How can I grow if I can't stand to be questioned or criticized? And I want to grow. I want to be a growing person. So, you know, I'm saying that because I think one of the things that comes at me a lot when I screen print is what a shitty screen printer I am, and how shitty my tools are, and how like super ridiculous my screen printing is. And but skateboard graphics are not as important to me as the shape and the tone of the laminate. You know, I really want. And this is the second of the dragon screens, but I'm going to do another board in between. This is a super secret graphic that I'm not going to really show you guys. This graphic hasn't been released, and it's actually headed out. It's headed out. I have a box right now on its way to a recipient, and it's a little bit of a surprise graphic. So I'm interested that you guys not really be able to see this one, but I have one deck in this batch that's getting this very special graphic, and I won't be showing you the finished product. Oh guys, I really like when my screens are marked already and I'm not building a new one. Dear friends, building new screens, I was just sharing with you how, to me, I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder about skateboard graphics, because my beloved skateboard wood quality, the thing that I really loved as a kid, was a great quality laminate skateboard. I loved knowing that I was going to be able to go skate the whole weekend without interruption or failure with the board I spent money on. And back then, boards were $60 a piece, sometimes 65, sometimes as low as 55. And in 1987, $55 was a lot of money. And I remember the Santa Cruz boards, I didn't know where they were pressed, but I did know that they were really good. They were really, really good. So I had several Santa Cruz boards that lasted a long time, and they felt good. I had really good memories of knowing I was going to get home on that board. Had a couple of naked skateboards, the blanks that you'd buy. I had one that was also, they were also really quite good. And I mean the laminate quality. You knew you were going to get back home. You know, I could go to Poughkeepsie. I grew up in Wappingers Falls, New York, and I could go to Poughkeepsie on the weekend and stay at Dave Peeler's house or somewhere else, or stay with my friends in Hopewell Junction, and I knew that I would be able to skate the whole weekend on the board, and I didn't care what picture was on it. Whereas there were other skateboarders who were obsessed with their pictures, and all of that was a little bit too much like baseball cards to me. I liked baseball cards when I was little, but I fell out of love with them because I couldn't afford baseball cards. And once I was spending money on skateboard decks, it really got sensitive about quality. So even as a kid, I was super disappointed when things weren't good quality. And there's that one. And you know, I still have to put the black on that Dragon. And I'm going to check another order number here. I still have the black on the Dragon. I've got this right there. I still have this 8-ply Punk Point 9-inch. It's super strong, a little bit heavy, but if someone would like this 8-ply, I'd be happy to put a graphic on it. Even while we're talking here, if somebody wants to just order the 9-inch Punk Point and let me know they want that 8-ply, this 8-ply can go out, and I'll put a graphic on it live now if somebody wants to snag it. Otherwise, I'm just waiting. I'll keep talking to you guys about it. And the last one is, I don't have the order for this one in front of me. It's in my phone, and I'm doing this live feed with my phone. So I have to actually consult the live feed for this. But I know this guy. This is a custom that I made for a man who goes by Bran Kjar. And I made this custom. This is my second attempt on this custom, and I think this is a good opportunity for the 7 of you who are here to see. I failed on this one. I messed this one up. I made it way too short, the first one. And this customer this friend was so kind to me. They weren't mad that I messed up their board. Instead, they were like, you know, hey, it was way too short, but I really love it. And I was like, yeah, and I really love you, and I'm going to remake that at no charge. And so I'm going to do, I feel like I should do dragons on this board for this person. They seem like a dragon-y person. I don't remember if they requested, but I'm going to do live dragons on this board. I'm going to grab the, you know, that sounds good. I'm going to do dragons on this one too, and that way we can do 2 more of the dragon black ink. We can do 2 more of those. And I think you can all see that the tails, I've already done all the tails on this whole batch. Now let me make sure this is dry. And it's not perfectly dry, which is important. It's got to be dry before you put it down, or it really runs into trouble. So I'm going to just do this and make sure it's dry around all the little spots and places and stuff. Because I don't want any ghosting or any sludginess in this graphic. And since I already used it once, there we go. Now it feels nice and dry. You guys sometimes make jokes that I'm like Bob Ross. And I could not think of a person outside of Fred Rogers. I think Bob Ross is probably those 2 are aligned with my highest aspirations in personhood. I just think the 2 of those people are, I don't think that when it comes to people, it gets much better than Fred Rogers and Bob Ross. I was once kicked out of my work in skateboarding. The group I was working with, I've probably told the story before, but they told me that I was too much like Mr. Rogers. And I thought, thank you very much, sir. May I please have another? What a great problem to have in your life, that you're too similar to Fred Rogers. I had the, I'm not really a fanboy kind of guy. I had the pleasure of serving Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, at a table in Winter Park, Florida, toward the end of his life. And no, I wasn't his server. I was in the room. I was a server in the restaurant where he was eating. And I'm not like a heavy fan guy. I understand why people are fan guys and gals, because we need our inspiration, and it means a lot to us what people put out. But Fred Rogers has meant more to me every year that I've been alive. And Bob Ross is right there too. I love these people. You know who else I like? Who you might, I don't know guys, but the other person that is very similar in the way they inspire me is Gordon Ramsay. Oh goodness gracious, I just think the world of Gordon Ramsay, his persona, his contribution. I don't know Gordon personally, and I'm sure that his life is every bit as messy as any of our lives are, and I'm not trying to lionize him as some sort of saint. Certainly not, but you know, I just perceive in Gordon Ramsay's persona this guy who he cares about people and craft, and I'm not comfortable expressing my anger in the same ways that Gordon is comfortable expressing his anger, but I feel the same anger that he feels when I see crafts like skateboard making being so much less than what they ought to be in order to serve skateboarders something that's really valuable. And I'm not saying that like I'm all that in a bag of chips, because I'm slow. I'm so fucking slow. You know, it's like I have to be in the right frame of mind to make skateboards, and my frame of mind has been under massive public attack for like 7 years, since 2012. I decided I wasn't going to just put up with watching my local scene get drug into the ground by a bunch of retail bullies who think that they own the scene because they once skated AM for some company that's well known for being jerks to people in the first place. You know, I wasn't going to just watch that happen, so I started to speak out. Not about them, but about behavior, about ethics, about culture and market. And yeah, that was enough to cause a long-term division in our community here. A division that we needed to have in order that some of the folks in the community could have an option for a culture in skateboarding that wasn't so bought and sold to corporate. It's ironic because core skateboarding is as bought and sold corporate as anything I've ever seen in my life, and yet somehow they get to beat the drum. They get to beat a drum like they're some sort of populist heroes, you know? But they're not populist heroes. They're corporate cronies, constantly representing the interests of large corporations that don't care if you have a great experience today. They're more interested in making sure you don't feel comfortable in your own skin unless you're wearing their brand. That drives me batty, drives me nuts. So, I have reached the, well, I haven't reached the end, but these two have to dry. This one here is done. This one isn't bought yet. I better check the messages on here. I'm gonna get down the Facebook chat and just check through and make sure nobody claimed this 8. Let's see here. Bob Ross channel on Twitch. I'm so down. Pocket Pistols. Love your work. Burning Boards. I love you too. Love that shape. Dragons Rock. Like grip art. Thanks, Keith. You guys' comments are just extremely dear to me. Good. Autocorrect bliat. Suka bliat. And All right, good. Yeah, sorry it was. Hey, Brain Kiar, you got dragons, bro. Um, I'm sorry if it was quiet, guys. I don't know if we can fix it in post, but the YouTube should pick up a lot better version if you guys want to go back and watch. But for now, I have to bid you all goodbye because I've got to arrange a few things. I'm going back to the home studio and finishing up a burn. Perhaps we'll do another live down there. Every single one of these takes a little piece of my soul with it. It is the strangest feeling. And so, hey, what can I say? Go with God, and as always, hi, Mom, I love you.